I thought I was leaving tomorrow, and I had made all my plans based around that. Just today, it was like 2 o'clock, a little before, and I started to check the dates on all my stuff, and it was today. So I realized, oh, my flight is leaving today, not tomorrow. And I had this like huge surge of adrenaline. But I was like, am I gonna be able to get there? Luckily I had a good long amount of time. I was gonna get a haircut, but we're gonna have to deal with that while we're there because it was scheduled for 3 and that would have been cutting it too close. And I already feel like I'm getting a lesson in trusting divine providence, because I was leading up to this trip, I was feeling nervous. Like I was feeling anxious about just the amount of stuff that was going to be packed into Friday. I was going to have to get done, you know, at like go for like almost 36 hours up straight, give a panel presentation that night, and I was going to have to try to be sharp for that. And I was just like, I don't know how to relax with this thing in mind. And part of me was just like, you know, just like Providence is going to do it. And the point I'm trying to make is that all the stuff I was imagining now is not going to happen. I mean, all my events are going to be much more spaced out. I'm not going to have that long day. There's just going to be so much. There's going to be so much that's so not just easier but different. It's different than I was planning for, and I find that that's usually how it is you think life is going to be one way and it's going to be the other way. So I'm seeing that in action here, and it's got me feeling good. I feel good to start this trip. So everybody, great to have you along with me, and I'll offer more profound insights as they come, but excited to go to London, talk about Swedenborg.
Hey, so I made it. I'm here at the hotel. I'm going to start getting ready for the conference, but I'm also going to meet up with some local Swedenborg enthusiasts and, you know, like chat Swedenborg with them a bit. Like these guys. So I'm here with David Perry, Reverend Doctor. Okay, all right. Playwright.
You stopped there. Yeah, playwright.
Yes, and Swedenborg, or it's Swedenborg fanatic. I've heard you describe it.
Fanatic.
So how did you come to find yourself a Swedenborg fanatic, and what does that mean?
By accident, not that there's any such thing as an accident. Providence.
That's right.
Came across one of his quotes, I think it was in a magazine, as a teenager, and I thought, that guy sounds really interesting. Went to a local library. In those days there were libraries in Britain.
There are what?
Aha, that's you don't even know the word.
Do you remember what the quote was?
Oh my God, it was something to do with God being the sun in the other world.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember thinking, what a strange idea. That reminds me, because I've always been heavily into art, that reminds me of all this poetry I've been reading. You know, the sun is not only the symbol of consciousness on the other side, the other world, the other worlds. It's this sort of embodiment of everything good and true.
Yeah.
And I had this strange idea in those days that God was the sum total of everything good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sort of resonated with that. So I did some research in the library and fell in love. I mean, the guy,
awesome.
You know, the guy was just astonishing.
That's right. And when you name names, does anybody in your circles know of Swedenborg? How is that received?
They do now.
They do that. Okay.
Some of them do. Some of them do without me prompting. But you know, he's more of a hidden treasure than anything at the moment. And certainly, I mean, if you with me for 5 minutes, you get battered by Swedenborg. Yeah, I think it's a growing knowledge, it's a developing knowledge, because it's, you know, it's such an all-embracing spirituality. It's full of kindness and tolerance and wisdom. I mean, how can that not be effective?
Yeah. So I want you to say what you just said. So when you first saw the show, your reaction was, I can't believe there's somebody else into
that's
Swedenborg.
genuinely true. I mean, I thought I was the only Swedenborg fanatic in the universe.
Yeah, right.
And then I thought, my God, there's another one out there. There's another craze going on.
That's just like, I can't say enough about Swedenborg.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's how it goes. And so you were mentioning Swedenborg, since you're into theater, right? And you're doing. So if we were going to make a piece of theater about Swedenborg, what would that be? What would it be like?
My view at the moment, as I'm plotting and planning, is a sort of a day in the life of, a retrospective view, very serious view. The danger of musicals is it becomes trivial or trivialized.
Okay.
So we have a very serious view of this eminent gentleman, a naturalist who's still having visions at the end of his life, reminiscing.
Yeah.
He's just had his name changed by the Swedish government.
Okay.
And thinking, how did all this happen? How did I arrive here? What does it mean? The fact that he's still having visions as well. I think that's the stuff of drama. And it is. It's the stuff of the avant-garde.
I think Swedenborg's a great story. I mean, I think even just telling parts of his life, like you're saying, I think people would be interested just in that.
Yeah.
So I like it. So the angle is this retrospective, maybe like just after around when he wrote True Christianity, sort of at the end of things, looking back and sort of balancing. And you say maybe even get Kant in there and sort of their relationship. Yeah. So I like it. All right, so let's this time next year, coming to a theater near you.
Be there. Be there.
And it was Swedenborg's image, that sort of idea of influence, of you've got the angel on the one side and the devil on the other, and just portraying it as that duality of depression was, if you like, the devil, the demon. It was a parasite from outside, and that idea of depression not being me. I refuse to say my depression is not something I have.
Yeah.
It's something that has inflicted me. It's, I caught it, if you like, like you catch a virus or something. And it doesn't consider my interests. It's working against me. And the way in which Swedenborg talks about heaven and hell and good and evil, whether you want to transpose that into a psychological jargon, or whether you keep the heaven and hell, the demons and devils, I find particularly helpful. So I see depression as a parasite, as an evil, and picturing it in that way that it's not me, and I can fight it. I don't have to run along with it. I don't have to see it as something that I've got inside me that I'm responsible for or guilty of or what have you. But it's something that for whatever reason it's attacked me. And I've got the choice of accepting it, sitting there passively staring at the ceiling, which is what I used to do, or fighting it. What was a real watershed for me was I had a couple of students come to see me in about March of this year. Okay. They were getting ready for their final exams and dissertations to be handed in. Yeah. And they said, we're on antidepressants, we're struggling. And for the first time in my life, I actually admitted it. I have depression. Yeah. To these students, the authority relationship of tutor to student, and people who are 30 years younger than me. And I said, well, I've got depression, and I've done this and I've done that. Gave them the link to your Fear Eater video, and. I've suffered from depression, but I'm dealing with it. Yeah. I'm dealing with it by being open. And Swedenborg has provided the pathway for that. Is notions of providence, but also there's a much wider sense in which Swedenborg appeals. Intellectually, it's intellectually coherent, it's intellectually satisfying. Yeah. and he links to lots of my interest in sort of notions of autonomy and freedom and choice, rationality, all those things that are really, I think, quite important in some of the work that I've done.
Yeah.
So finding this way of connecting everything up, that here is something that's intellectually coherent, yet it's actually helping me spiritually, in a way that I've not really found.
So I got picked up in a cab, but it's not just any cab. This is a very special cab because the gentleman driving it is my new friend Gert, who actually is a fan of Swedenborg and has seen our show. So Gert, what I'm always interested in is, how did you find the channel, and did you already know about Swedenborg before it? Like, how did you come to be interested in it?
Well, yeah, I did read Heaven and Hell before I found your channel.
Okay.
Well, after I've read Emanuel Swedenborg's book, obviously it sort of opened up a lot of new horizons for me, you know, and I was very hungry for more information. Did it feel like right away it meant something to you, or did it take a little while to sink in? Yes, it did, because before that I was in a very difficult situation in life.
Okay.
And basically what I was doing wasn't working.
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of one day had a desperate plea. I don't know who I was pleading to, I don't know where I was sending message to.
Yeah.
But I was like, this can't be it. This can't be my life for, you know, till my death.
Yeah.
There's got to be more to it than that.
Right.
And I suppose after this happened, I changed. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I came across Gnostic texts.
Okay.
You know, the Commodity library.
Yeah.
So I read that, and that helped me a lot. And I started reading a Bible a little bit, because before that I wouldn't
touch it.
I wouldn't even understand it.
Yeah, that's right.
It was gibberish to me. You know?
It started to feel different.
Yes, it did. It did. It sort of it helped me realize that I had to search within.
Yes.
I had to start within. I couldn't find the answers outside, but I had to search within and see why things were not working out. And once I've focused my attention to the God, to Jesus, to his teachings, everything became a lot more clearer.
Yeah.
And I became more hungry for more information. And I started, and one day I was watching TV and I came across a documentary about Swedenborg.
Probably Splendors of the Spirit, maybe.
That's right.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. That's Swedenborg Foundation made that well before I got on board, but.
Exactly. Yeah. And I thought, wow, you know, this guy has got something. I want to know what he's got to say. And I obviously picked up Heaven and Hell, and I read it, and I thought, yeah, you know, that makes a lot of sense. You know, the worlds are connected, and we have to sort of, you know, spiritually be open to the world and so on. You know.
Yeah.
But forgive my crude explanation.
No, I totally get what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it started from there. So after I read the book, I started searching more online for information and stuff. I couldn't find anything, and there was lots of people talking and having their own opinions, but nothing that was like your channel, basically. Okay. And then eventually I cooled off a bit, and I was like, okay, so there's nothing out there, and I left it for a bit, and then again I started searching after a while, and then again I picked up the book and I read it again, and I was like, you know, I want more. I want more.
Yeah.
I'm hungry, you know, and bam, your channel, I found your channel.
Yeah.
And at first I started like listening, and you know, I was a bit wary of what you were saying.
Right. As you should be. Some strange people on YouTube talking about stuff.
You know, because you always see these people saying this, that, and the other, you know, and they're like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this. But when I started to pay more attention to what you were saying, you know, I understood the message and what he was doing, more or less, and it became extremely important in my life. The channel, I watch every video now you make, and you know, I enjoy it. I think it's great. I wish you guys continue this, and I hope people come across this. It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's all right, but that's my little story. I mean, obviously there's a lot more to it, but I don't want to burden people, you know. One day I'll write my memoirs.
Yes. Well, and I'll say, like, I got to hear it before it was a famous book.
Don't worry, I'll give you an autograph later.
Great. Thanks so much.
That's all right.
So I'm out here at the Swedenborg Society in London, and I'm gonna go in and take a look. In these cases around me is every edition and translation of Swedenborg ever. So that's pretty cool. This right here is Swedenborg's table. This was really in his house. Can I touch it?
Sure.
I just touched Swedenborg's table. Maybe not exciting to anyone else, but to me, this is like, wow. This is it. You may have seen this picture on the internet if you Google Swedenborg. We think this is actually the original. Like, whoever was painting this was looking at Swedenborg when he did it. Do I sound like a Swedenborg nerd? I think I do. But hey, you know, that's what I am. All right, and what are we looking at here?
Here is the fragments of the ear bone. We're looking here at what is known as the Bath fragment. It's a fragment of manuscript of Swedenborg's that is from the spiritual diary, and it is from the opening portion of the spiritual diary, of which the first couple of hundred numbers or so are missing.
Well, they did a good thing, because I love spiritual diary, so I'm so glad this survived.
So this is believed to be Swedenborg's cane. There's records of it having a tip like this. There may even be, and you're not gonna be able to see this on the camera, a little ES on the top of there. So this object really gives you a sense of like, oh, Swedenborg is a human being, which by all records he was. And just like, oh yeah, this is how tall he would be, and he needs help walking, so he's got something like this, so that's awesome. All right, so you're saying that talk about the three pillars, you know, in Swedenborg, and how that is, you apply that when you're training cab drivers.
Right. Well, the three pillars from Swedenborg that are absolutely essential, that I found really important in my life, are number one, love.
Yeah.
Right? Unconditional love is number one. Absolutely. Anyone who comes to my school, no matter where they're from, what color they are, I gotta give them love, alright?
Yeah.
So if they come troubled, if they come confused, even scared, a lot of people are scared to go to school, you know, adults, you know, you go into adult school and you're like, oh my god, I'm back to high school.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. So I've got to make sure they feel loved and welcomed in my school. So that's that. Then the second principle is the wisdom. Alright, so I give them a bit of wisdom from my personal experience, life, training, etc. I make sure that they can relate to that, and they can see that, you know, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You got to start. It's not going to just happen to you. You've got to train for 3 or 4 years as a knowledge boy or a girl in London to become a fully qualified black cab driver. So wisdom is another important element in my training. And the third one is the usefulness.
Yeah.
These three principles that I've read in Swedenborg's books, which just change. They change everything. They change everything. Okay. realise, the students realise how important it is for them to be part of something bigger.
Yeah.
And they're not on the run. And when I show them I'm useful, and I show them they can be useful, we are connected. Okay? So the rest, love and wisdom, will come at a later point, but usefulness is extremely important. And I told you earlier, Curtis, that I thought at first that Swedenborg was wrong about that, but when I had a good think about it, he was absolutely right about it. Usefulness is essential, and we all must be useful in this world, one way or the other, not in terms of money or economy or politics. It's different kind of usefulness.
Yeah.
You understand? You understand?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so this usefulness is a human, spiritual usefulness that we gotta learn how to apply that in the world, and that's just not easy. That takes years, you know.
Yeah.
But it's possible, as doable, as we say.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that.
Beautiful. All right, so this is Richard, and he makes TCCHE happen. So I want to say thanks so much for inviting me to be a part of it. And why? Like, why did you want me to come here in the first place to talk about Swedenborg?
You know, we saw what you were talking about with Emanuel Swedenborg, and Swedenborg's thinking and Swedenborg's teachings have had a huge impact on Western society.
Yeah.
They've had a huge impact on us making the conference, and we're really happy that there's someone that can talk about these ideas and help people to understand something which is, as you know, fairly complex.
Yes,
and
right.
we also want to say thank you to you for making the conference happen and bringing like loads of positivity over. And so we're really happy about this.
Yeah, you guys are all right.
Challenging ideals.
Yeah. That's so good. Well, thanks so much for having me.
No problem.
I just love the whole thing. So.
Yeah.
The angel said that the reason for this ignorance was that people believe they live on their own, without any connection to the ultimate reality of life, and do not know that there is this connection through the heavens. Yet if that connection were severed, we would instantly drop down dead. And there's a polarity there, not just in that they're giving us life, but they're giving us the positives and negatives of life. It says, what flows in from spirits from hell is evil and falsity. This would be, evil would be harmful feelings, falsity would be harmful thoughts. But what flows in from angels from heaven is goodness and truth. So, constructive feelings, we're back to our post-it notes here, found out where they came from. So the opposing influences keep us in the middle, and therefore in freedom.